Fine. That is okay. I think if the screen is being shared. Okay. Why this? Okay, it's fine. So last class we saw the basics of serial communication and the advantages of using serial communication or the parallel communication, and also we saw the basic advantages of both the parallel communication as well as serial communication. Okay, so parallel communication basically a faster communication, no doubt, but for longer distance communication not suitable because of its number of conducting wires required. Whereas the serial communication slower compared to parallel communication, but it is preferred for a longer distance communication. Okay, fine. Okay. So last class we also saw the framing, data framing, where start bit and stop bit is inserted to each byte of data before it is being transmitted from sending device to receiving device. Okay, and we also saw two types of communication: synchronous communication and asynchronous communication. Synchronous means block transfer, block of data which consists of multiple bytes of data. Asynchronous, single byte of data. To achieve this, the synchronous and asynchronous communication, the processor makes use of a hardware called as UART or USART. 8051 is a 8051 supports asynchronous method of data transfer, and hence it has only UART device, universal asynchronous receiver transmitter. That is, it can transmit only byte by byte. It cannot transmit chunk of data. It can transmit only. Okay, so this is an example of a data framing. Okay, so start bit, as I said, this is implementation dependent. Start bit is 0. In this case, last class I think, of course I took it general condition, like it can be 1 or 0, depends on the processor and depends on the implementation. So in 8051 UART device, this start bit is 0. Okay, so the first bit is always 0, is a low, and the stop bit is 1. Stop bit may be 1 or 2 depending on the mode of operation that we'll discuss now. Various modes of serial communication. Okay, example: let us ASCII character A to be transmitted. Okay, so the binary representation is this, that is 41H. We know that ASCII characters are basically hexadecimal characters. Is basically an hexadecimal characters. For capital A, it is 41H. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, so it is done first. The first is the mark. Mark in the sense, initially it is high. If it is continuously high, that means there is no character. That means there is no character being uh, transmitted. Okay, so once it goes low, that is 0. That is when the first 0 is transmitted. Okay, that means the data is ready to be transmitted. That means first 0, that is start bit, indicates the transmission of data. That means it indicates the beginning of data. Okay, so first bit is 0, that is the start bit. Then comes the actual data. What is the actual data? 41H, 0100. Okay, this is 4, and this is 000001. That is 1. That is 41H, and the stop bit is 1. Logic 1. Logic 1. Okay. So what does the receiving UART device should do? Receiving UART device, what does it does is, first it will ignore the first bit, that is logic 0, because anyway it is a start bit. It starts counting the next, counting in the sense it starts storing the next 8 bit. That is the that corresponds to actual character being transmitted. In our case it is 41H, and it will ignore the last bit, that is the 10th bit, that is stop bit. Okay, So that means the data is being received without any error, without any mistake, without any error. After that, space indicates again there is no data, there is no next byte of data. So for next byte of data to be transmitted, let us say we have transmitted 41H. After transmitting 41H, let us say we need to transmit the B, character B, capital B, uppercase B. ASCII value is 42H, 42H. What does the UART device of sending device does is, first it has to create a mark in the sense, first the signal goes high. Okay, it remains high. When the bit becomes 0, okay, there is logic 0 that indicates start bit. This is the start bit. After this, it will append the 8 bits. That is in 42 means 0 1 0 0, 2 is 0 0 1 0, 0 0 1 0. After appending the given data, it will append the logic 1. It will append logic 1. So logic 1 indicates stop bit. Logic 1 indicates stop bit. This is the logic 1. Okay, so that's how the data will be appended and it will be transmitted. Okay, number of stop bit depends on the mode of operation. So thereby what happens is, before the communication start, the protocol should be established. Okay, what does this protocol says? Okay, let's say this is device 1, this is device 2. Two devices agree upon a standard rules that is called as a protocol. Protocol gives lot of information, like size of data, size of the data. That is, it may be 8-bit, 16-bit, whatever it is, size of data, and size of data, and the number of stop bit, number of stop bit, number of stop bit, and let us say a framing method, data framing. Okay, that is what is called as data framing technique, data framing. Okay, data framing technique, data framing technique. Okay, uh, uh, these are the basic rules on which both the device should agree first. Agree in the sense, once it is okay, when these rules are okay for both the device, then the sending device will start sending the data. So this will be, for example, if this is the sending device, okay, and this is the receiver. Okay, so sending device means it is a transmitter. So this will be the receiver. Okay, so then it will start sending the data. So this is the basics of data framing method or technique. So finally, one stop bit indicating the end of the stop bit indicates the end of the character. When there is no transfer, the signal is high, which is referred to as part. Okay, fine. So 0 is referred to as space. At the end, when it is 0, that means no more character is being transmitted. Okay. Okay. So now, due to the extended ASCII characters, 8-bit ASCII data is common. In earlier system, these ASCII characters were only 7-bit. Now, because of many characters being introduced into the computer system, this 7-bit is now converted into 8-bit. That is, each ASCII character now represents 8-bit data. Is now being represented by 8-bit data. This 8-bit data is nothing but the hexadecimal data. Is nothing but the hexadecimal data. Okay. So in modern PCs, the use of one-stop. Okay, in most of the latest computers, one-stop bit is used normally. In older system, due to the slowness of receiving mechanical device, two stop bits were used to give device sufficient time to organize itself before transmission of the next byte. This we discussed in the last class. That is, if the receiver device is very slow compared to transmitting device, then receiving device needs some time to store the received data in a particular register. So for that, the number of stop bits should be more. Number of stop bit more means it is giving more time for the slower device to store the data. If both the devices operate at the same speed, then one stop bit is sufficient. Okay. In nowadays, in most of the devices, it's only one stop bit. Okay, and moreover, it uses advanced protocols also. Okay, of course, we won't discuss that here anyway, but we are transferring a text file of ASCII characters using one stop bit. We have a total of 10 bits for each character. Correct. Okay. Why? Because why 10 bits? 8 bit for the data, 8 bit for to represent a character, plus one stop bit and one start bit. One start bit. So totally it represents 10 bit. So 10 bit for each character to be transmitted. In some system, order to maintain the data integrity, the parity bit of the character byte is included in the data frame. Okay, so what does it mean? Data integrity. What is data integrity? Okay, this data integrity, if let us say two devices are located at the far off place, okay, then obviously when the data is transmitted, the data undergoes losses. The data is going to be manipulated. For example, I'll take simple example. Let us say the data being transmitted is some. Let us take some example. Okay, some 8 bit. Let us take one 8 bit data. Okay, for example, if this data is being transmitted at the receiving side, the data may be something like this. Okay, only this bit undergoes changes. Only this bit undergoes changes. That means in the received 8 bit data, one bit has changed. One bit has changed. Okay, how does the receiver knows the received data is correct? For that, of course, there are various coding techniques. That's called as a data coding technique, which we don't study anyway. Data coding techniques are used. Okay, one of the commonly used method of data coding is using what is known as parity bits. Actually, this is the application of parity bit. In special function register, we have a parity bit, p bit. The purpose of p bit, is to find the number of ones. For example, in this data, for example, let us say how many number of ones are there? There are 4 number of ones. If for 4 number of ones there is even parity, p should be 0, p bit should be 0. And the received data, if you see, how many number of ones are there? 3. That means p should be set to 1. Okay, in the sending data, okay, the what does the sender UART does? UART or USART device does, it will add start and stop bit to the given data. For example, start bit is 0, stop bit is 1. Total size of the data is now 10 bit. 10 bit is transferred. Okay, along with this 10 bit, parity bit will also be transferred. Parity bit is 0. Okay, on the receiving side, what does the receiver UART does? Receiving UART will ignore the start and stop bit. It will receive only 8 bit of data. Along with that, it will cross check the received parity bit. Parity bit received says 0. 0 indicates the number of ones is given, but in the received data, how many number of ones are there? Odd. That means received data is erroneous. Received data is erroneous. Some bits have undergone change. There is one more problem here. For example, what if 2 bits become 0? Number of ones is still one even. Number of ones is still even. Parity bit is 0. So according to parity bit, received data is correct, but actual received data is wrong compared to the transmitted data. Compared to that, okay, that's why to check the error, there are different error coding technologies are there. Error coding what is that is called as error coding techniques. There are many error coding techniques using which we can check the yes, in fact, I think this, that is when you download a software, when you download the software from internet. Okay, that is for example, use softwares like MATLAB, or even maybe some huge games. I'm not sure about games because I don't download them there. So let us say MATLAB or some complex softwares, very huge softwares. You get what is known as a checksum. You get a file called as file or a number. It is called as a checksum. If you have come across this terminology, checksum. Okay, this is a 15-digit number, 15-digit code. This 15-digit code has to be cross-checked once the software is downloaded. if the 15-digit code provided by the manufacturer, if it matches with the downloaded software, the checksum of a downloaded software, that means software is downloaded without an error, because the software will be in terms of gigabytes, or maybe 6 gigabyte, or maybe more than that, 10 or 12. Okay, so in that case we have to check what is known as checksum. It is one of the method of checking the error. Okay, because during download, there may be a possibility that some files are corrupted. Okay, so there is error checking, there are many error checking. Okay, that process of the data being corrupted during the transmission, okay, is called as to keep to keep the data free from corruption or error, is called as a data integrity. So for which the 8051 makes use of a what is known as a parity bit. Okay, so this is the actual purpose of a what is known as parity bit. So UART chips allow programming of the parity bit for odd or even and no parity options. Okay, UART has this option. We can have a odd parity and a even parity and no parity also. So there is a possibility. We can program the UART such that we can opt a odd parity or even. What is odd and even parity, guys? It's very simple. Just like what we saw in the earlier case. If number of ones is even, then we can call it as a even parity. That means we can set P to 0 or 1. Okay, let me write here. Okay, so let me write somewhere here. Okay, so if number of ones are even, number of ones of are even, then P can be set to 0 or 1, which which we call it as a even parity. Okay, if number of ones is odd, then accordingly we can go for a particular convention. The convention is P can be either 0. For example, in this case, if it is P is 1, here we can have it as P0, then we can call it as a odd parity. What is odd and even parity indicates? If number of ones is even, then along with parity bit, see number of ones given 8-bit data. Let's say there are 8-bit data. In 8-bit data, number of ones is even along with the parity bit. If number of ones along with the parity bit, okay, if number of ones is odd or number of ones is even, we can call it as a even parity. What is odd parity what is odd parity says is, if given data is 8-bit, okay, if number of ones is even, number of one is even along with parity bit, if number of ones is odd, then we can call it as a odd parity. This we can program the UART. We can program UART to configure either what is known as a even parity, odd parity, or no parity. That's also possible. Okay, without parity also we can work with the transmission of data, serial communication. Yes, okay. So that is the meaning of what is known as even and odd parity. The even and odd parity depends on the implementation. Okay, in most of the cases we don't usually change the default setting, uh, URT as a default setting. So accordingly, we are going to work with the parity parity bit. Okay, so the rate of data transfer in serial data communication is stated in bits per second. Okay, rate of data transfer. Okay, what is the rate of data transfer? Number of bits transferred per second. Okay, that is called as per bits per second. Okay, another widely used terminology is also called as a baud rate. Bit per second is also called as a baud rate. But there is a slight difference between baud rate and a bits per second. Let us understand that. Baud rate you must have come across this, in your serial communication network, you must have come across. Let's hold on a second. Actually, yes. Oh, yes, okay. I was discussing about what is known as a baud rate. Okay, so let us go back to that discussion. Uh, that was okay. Okay, yeah. Yes, in serial communication, you must have come across serial communication means in your normal LAN network at home. If I have a LAN network, they specify the speed. Like of course nowadays it's in terms of megabyte. Speed is in terms of megabyte, even gigabyte also. So this is a bits per second. Kilobits per second. There are old speeds. 3G or maybe 2G speed. Okay, nowadays we have a high speed networks. Baud rate. What is a baud rate? The modern the modern terminal sorry, okay, modern terminology, there is baud rate, is a modern terminology and is defined as the number of signal changes per second. Okay, this we need to understand. This point, we need to carefully, we need to concentrate. Let us okay, fine. Means to understand that, let us take there are two devices connected to a modem. Okay, so this is modem one. I need to write it down. Okay, let us. Okay, so let us say this is one modem one. There is one device connected to one device. So this is another device, another modem. Okay, so these two modems will communicate. Okay, modem two. Okay. Now, guess what is the basic role of this modem space? As the name suggests, it is a modulation and demodulation. Okay, modulation means for example, if this is the transmitter, then the zeros and ones should be converted into analog signals. At the receiving end, these analog signals has to be converted back to zeros and ones. Okay. Now, what will happen is if you consider this zeros and ones, zero means let's say initially it is zero, one, then let's say maybe zero again, or one, 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 then zero, something like this. Okay. Each time the bit changes, bit changes from one to zero, zero to one, 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 zero, something like this. Then for each change, this modem device has to generate a signal. Okay, and each signal will have a different frequency. For example, for one change the frequency is f1, for another change the signal, it will generate one more signal with another frequency f2. Okay, at the receiving side, receiving modem will detect these frequencies. Okay, for example, f1 frequency comes, it will generate one set of data. F2 comes, it will generate another set of data. The data means either it may be 0 to 1, or it 1 to 0, or it may remain 1, or it may remain 0, something like this. Okay, this way of generating analog signal for every change in the digital data to be transmitted. See, our ultimate goal is to transmit this digital data over a network. Okay, since the lines are physical lines, as to see, we have understood in the beginning, all real world signals are analog. There is nothing like zeros and ones in the air. Okay, but all real world signals are analog. For these analog signals to be uh, transmitted, okay, there should be some method, because otherwise the devices cannot detect the actual data. Okay, so thereby these devices, there is modems, to be more particular, generates analog signals of particular frequency. Okay, of particular frequency corresponding to particular rate of change of the digital data. Okay, and uh, this this rate, this change in the signal for every change in the digital data, okay, is called as happens at a particular rate. Okay, so that also happens at a particular, because the reason for that is each device is operating with a different speed. Let us say, for example, this is one system, that is a PC1, and this is another system, PC2, which are operating itself at a different speed. For example, I'll take this as a very old system. Let us say, what you call, it's a P4 machines. Okay, very old systems, P4 machines, which works at a maybe 1 gigahertz, for example. Okay, very slow speed. Okay, 1 gigahertz or 1.1 gigahertz, something like that. Okay, PC2 is a higher end device which works at a very high frequency. Okay, of course again gigahertz, but very high frequency. Okay, then first of all, these two PCs are operating at a different speed. and hence the rate at which the modems send the data, there is generate the analog signals which are going to be transmitted over these physical wires, okay, which has to be received by the receiving modem and has to convert this received signal into particular data, digital data, okay. This method, there is rate of the changes in the digital data converted into analog signals transmitted over the wire, and received by another device and converted back to digital data, okay. So this method, okay, this this method is what is called as a baud rate. This method or this frequency, this rate at which these signals are generated is called as a baud rate, okay. Bits per second is for the digital data. Of course, baud rate also corresponds to digital data, no doubt, but physically it corresponds to number of signal changes per second, okay. Number of signal changes per second means, for example, as I said, both the devices are operating at a different speed. Number of bits per second, number of change in bits is hundreds of bits will change per second. So the rate at which the data changes at the transmission side, accordingly the transmitting side modem will generate a signal. That signal has to be received by the receiving device, okay. The rate at which the data changes is different at the transmission stage. The frequency of signal generated by the modem also changes. Okay, yes, it's all frequency. Yes, this we have studied in our Fourier series. Yes, Fourier series, guys. I don't know whether you are studying now, or you have already studied, or you are ready to study. I'm not sure. Okay, Fourier series, Fourier transform, FT, Fourier transform. Okay, not field theory, Fourier transform. Okay, there we come across this technology, okay. So there we study what is known as various signal frequencies generation for every data change at a particular rate means number of changes per second, okay. That is called as a baud rate. Okay. Okay, so the modem devices, there are occasions when single changes of signal transfers, uh, single change of signal transfers several bits of data. Yes, what does it mean? Yes, hold on a second. Somebody said. Okay, okay. That means single change of signal transfers, uh, single change, single change corresponds to signal transfers of several bits of data. Okay, that means single change in the data corresponds to several data being transmitted. Okay, so this is I'll take another page. Okay, this is the digital data. Okay, so for which the modem has to generate the the uh, analog signals. So sometimes single change in data may generate multiple signals. That depends on the modem implementation. That depends on the system implementation method. Okay, so generally what we have to understand here is baud rate is nothing but number of change in the data per second, that is bits per second transmitted. Okay, this is nothing but a frequency, guys. For example, 10 hertz. What is 10 hertz? For example, 10 hertz means 10 signals per 10 hertz is nothing but 10 cycles per second, cycles per second. Okay, cycles per second means there are 10 signals in 1 second. Similarly, 100 hertz means 100 signals per second, 100 signal changes per second. Okay. Similarly, the baud rate corresponds to number of signal changes per second. Okay, this is similar to actually bits per second, but it depends on the modem implementation. So there is a slight difference between baud rate and the bits per second. But in normal terminology, we can refer bits per second as baud rate also, and we can refer baud rate as bits per second also. Okay, they can be used interchangeably. Okay, ultimately they refers to the same. There is change in the digital data. As far as the conductor wire is concerned, the baud rate and bits per second are same. See, for a wire it doesn't matter. This physical wire, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it will transfer the electrons. After all, it's a flow of electrons ultimately. Anyway, For a wire, it doesn't matter. And we use the terms interchangeably. That is, baud rate and bits per second can be used interchangeably. Okay, as long as we don't care, what the modem is doing, because modem will take care of this, changes. So that's why we need not worry too much about that. But we should understand the basic difference. So the data transfer rate of a given computer system depends on communication ports incorporated into the system. Okay, there are various communication ports. In our system, if you see, we have USB. Okay, uh, we have HDMI port, for example. Okay, HDMI. HDMI stands for High Definition Media Interface. We have VGA port, there is serial communication. We have LAN port, okay, for LAN network. What else? Uh, of course, PS2 port. In older desktop PCs, you have PS2. That is to connect, the mouse and keyboard. You used to have, nowadays in laptops it doesn't. In laptops there are no VGA port. That's a different issue. Okay. Okay, there are many other ports. Many other. For example, even for this audio, audio ports. We have audio ports. Okay, to connect, what do you call it, speakers. Okay, audio ports. There are many types of ports. Okay, so serial communication depends on the, um, that is data transfer rate, depends on the communication port, because if you take USB is faster than VGA. Okay, so it depends. The data transfer depends on the type of port used. USB faster than VGA. It may be USB is also faster than PS2. There is a keyboard and mouse connector, something like that. Okay, IBM PC could transfer data at the rate of 100 to 9600 bits per second. Pentium based systems, transfers at 56 kilobytes per second. Yes, if you remember this number, in older LAN networks at home, if you had a, LAN network, it operates at a speed of 56 kilobits per second. Nowadays it is in terms of megabits. I don't think so. Nobody provides this slower speed of data. Okay, but of course nowadays the problem is they'll provide megabits per second, but actual speed will be in terms of kilobits only. Okay, that's because of data sharing or network sharing. Anyway, so asynchronous serial data communication baud rates are limited to 100 kilobits per second, because synchronous means it is a chunk of data transfer, block of data. Block of data transfer is always faster compared to asynchronous method. Asynchronous method, byte by byte transfer, byte data transfer. So when we go for byte data transfer, the baud rate is limited, that is speed is limited, and the speed is approximately is less than 100 kilobits per second because of the speed limitation. USB is a synchronous based data transfer. Okay, it's very faster. There are various, you know, example of serial communication. Example is RS-232. There is VGA port. Okay. Yes. Anyway, we're not going to into detailed discussion of this RS-232 ports. Anyway, these ports you have seen in your devices like printer and scanning device, projectors. Okay. This is called as DB. DB 25 means there will be 25 pins. This is an example of a serial communication. Okay, RS-232, also called as a VGA. This is DB9. In most of the printers, you must have come across this kind of. You must have seen this kind of ports. Okay, yeah. So okay, let's not discuss these control signals. We'll go into this discussion. Line driver is also not necessary, because anyway we're not discussing VGA port, DB9 ports. So let us not go into. Okay, let us look into this case. Okay, baud rate. This is important for us. So to allow data transfer between PC and an 8051 system without any error. So because ultimately we are interested in 8051. So what is our goal is to interface PC or laptop. Because whenever I say PC, it may be laptop, because nowadays many people use laptop. Laptops are more common. Connected to 8051 main board, 8051 main board. It should be connected through serial communication. Okay, using the VGA port of a the PC, or it may be USB port. USB Programming is also quite common nowadays. Okay. So in that case, to make sure that there are no error, we must make sure that the baud rate of 8051 system matches the baud rate of the PC. The reason for this is 8051 operates at a frequency of 11 point, for example, 11.0592 megahertz, because 8051 there are some controllers which operate at 33 megahertz also possible. Okay, megahertz. So most commonly used frequency is 11.0592 megahertz. Okay, so let us take this as an example for our discussion purpose, understanding purpose. PC is operating at gigahertz frequency, very high frequency. Okay, that is a 1.1 gigahertz, for example. If you compare these two, speed, 8051 is operating at a very high speed. Okay, if the PC starts sending the data at this rate, 8051 cannot receive the data. It will lose the data. I mean, overflow. I mean, it doesn't work. The PC, the 8051 will lose the data. Okay, so thereby we have to make sure that the speed of operation of 8051 and the speed of operation of the PC should match. 8051 definitely cannot suddenly jump to this frequency. We cannot increase the frequency of operation of 8051, but we can reduce the frequency of operation of a PC. Okay, the frequency at which the PC can communicate with 8051 by reducing its frequency of operation is what is called as a baud rate. Baud rate is again bits per second, no doubt. Okay, it's a speed. Basically, it is a speed at which a PC communicates with a low speed devices. 8051 is a low speed device. PC is a very high speed device. So high speed device has to communicate with low speed device. Low speed devices speed cannot be increased. High speed devices speed has to be decreased. The speed at which the speed reduced to match the speed of operation of a low speed devices is called as a baud rate. Okay, very simple. What are the different baud rates available in a system? Okay, if we check that, there is a what is known as hyper terminal function is, this hyper terminal function will every system will have. You can check in the system, you can open the settings, and you can search for the hyper terminal, which helps in serially communicating with low speed devices, not necessarily low speed device always, normal devices also. Okay, supports hyper terminal function, supports baud rates much higher than the much more than this. Okay, these are the PC baud rates. What is PC baud rate? The speed at which PC can communicate with a low speed low speed operating devices. For example, let us say 8051. 8051's speed is very low compared to PC. 8051 speed can be varied. For example, it can be made. I'll explain that. It can be for 4800, or it can be 9600, or it can go up to maximum of 19200. Okay, so PC has 8051 has a limitation. It has a few. It supports only few baud rates. Okay, but PC supports multiple baud rate. Multiple baud rate means multiple speed of communication. Okay, so PC is more flexible. 8051 has a limitations. It has a limited operating speeds, communicating speed, not operating speed. Sorry, communicating speed, because operating speed is different. Okay, so operating speed is, for example, the operating speed of 8051 is 11.058 megahertz. This frequency can be reduced. This frequency can be further reduced. Okay, so communication frequency is different from the operating frequency, so that we have to understand. Okay, so what are the different baud rates supported by the microcontroller, and how to generate the baud rate? Let us understand that now. So we have understood now what is a baud rate. It's nothing but bits per second. That is the rate at which data are transmitted per second, measured per second. Okay, bits per second. The commonly used baud rate in 8051 based microcontroller is 9600, 2400, 1200. Okay, it can vary. It can be varied. Okay, if you see this table, list of baud rates, there are various frequencies. We can operate 8051 even at this rate also possible. Okay, but it will become very slow. See, the thing is, if we go on reducing, see, first of all, 8051 is already operating at a slower speed. If this frequency is further reduced, communication speed becomes very slow. Our ultimate goal is to operate at a very high frequency, as high as possible, as high as possible. Okay. Okay. So, but default, commonly used baud rate is 9600, 4000 not listed here, 4800 also commonly used by the 8051 based microcontrollers. Okay. Yes. Now we have to understand how to generate this frequency. Okay. Yes. To generate the frequency, we have to understand this counter logic. How to explain that? We have to go to counter discussion, counter logic discussion, counters. Okay. Okay. Yes, I'll continue for another 5 minutes. Second hour, I'm going to continue this. Okay. I've taken permission from Ganesh sir. I'm continuing second hour. Yes, did Ganesh sir posted in the group that he will take the class? Because I informed Ganesh sir yesterday that I will be taking the class, so no problem. But I'll check whether he has posted in the group. I informed Ganesh sir yesterday only, no problem. Okay. So I'll continue this hour. So thereby, I'll check, cross check whether condenser has posted in the group. No, he has not posted. Okay, fine. I'll continue. No problem. Okay. Okay. Yes, I'll take another 5-10 minutes, guys. I'll wind up and then we'll start the demo. Okay. Guys, what is a counter? This. What is a counter? Okay. Yes, what is a counter, by the way? In the your ADC course, we have understood what is a counter. Okay. This counter device is a device which counts clock pulses, okay. Based on the clock pulses, the count increments. Let us say initially the count is 0000. For example, it's a 4-bit counter. I'm taking a 4-bit counter as an example. Okay. When the first clock pulse comes, it can be a rising edge or it can be a falling edge. The count increases 0001. Next clock pulse, rising edge or falling edge, count becomes 0010. Okay, like this. Okay. Yes. Now, if you observe this in terms of waveform, okay, so I'll write this in terms of waveform. That is count. Okay, it's a 4-bit counter. It goes from 0000 up to the last count of the 4-bit counter. No. Oh yeah, last. Okay, so not FF. Sorry, not FFH. It would be wrong. It should be, what is the last count, guys? 1111. Not FFH. It's 11. It's a 4-bit counter. It's only 4-bit counter. Okay. So initially 0. 0 means all zeros. 1, 0001. Okay. So 0001 means it's a 4-bit. 4-bit out of 4-bit. So the first bit is 1 and the left out bits are 0. Next 0010. So that means, I guess, this is the what is demarcations, so that we can understand the. I think I should have used another color. Okay. Something like this. So these are the 4 bits. I'm writing it seconds. These are the 4 bits. Okay. So now this is, initially it was I think this should be 0. 0 0 0. No. This should be 0. Okay, not the last bit. So this is 0 and this is 0. Okay. Next is 0001. 0001. 0010. That means like this. 0010. 0010. This correct? I'll take one more example. 0011, for example. It's very simple, 1100. Okay. That is, this is 0011. Okay. Fine. Okay. So let us say, if you apply this as input to a counter. Okay. How does it work? When this is applied as input to a counter, this change in the signal, this change means here the signal is going from 0 to 1, That means there is a signal change. Okay, so that will it will generate one more clock pulse. Yes, I'll try to show it from the. I'll check it on the online. Whether I have any counter waveforms. Okay, so I'll explain with respect to waveform. That will be better. Let me check counter waveform so that it's easy to you know. Oh yeah, this is what I was trying to say. Yes, this waveform, because if I start writing the waveform, it takes time. So this waveform should help me in discussing at a discussing with. Uh, oh yeah, something like this. I wanted that. Where is that waveform? I think this is the waveform. No, I wanted a bigger one. Okay, no issues. Here we go. Let me try to resize this so that I'll. Hold on a second. Yes. Yes. Yes, please wait. So I'm trying to resize, okay, so that it can fit the page. Yeah, something like this. Yes, I think now it's clear, okay. Because this is the input clock pulse. Let us say this is the input clock pulse. So this is applied to the counter. These clock pulses are applied to the counters, okay. What should be the counter output? Counter output starts counting the clock pulse, okay. So the counter output changes from 0 to 1 based on the falling edge or rising edge or falling edge. Here the falling edge is considered. So whenever the clock pulse has a falling edge, the counter output changes. The counter output changes, okay. Now when this is applied to another counter, for example, another counter as a clock pulse, as an input clock pulse, the falling edge of this signal triggers the counter, which in turn generates another clock pulse. Another clock pulse. Let us say, for example, if this is applied to as an input to another counter, the falling edge of this clock pulse will trigger the counter to generate another clock pulse like this. Okay, because if you observe this, this waveform now, two clock pulse of this signal generate one clock pulse. Generate one clock pulse. So clock pulse, I mean to say one period. One period. Okay, this is one period. Okay. So this is one pulse. According, of course, this is one pulse, but I'm considering this complete period as a one pulse. Okay. Two clock pulse of this signal will generate one clock pulse, one period like this. Okay. Similarly, two clock pulse of this signal will generate one clock pulse. One clock pulse like this. Similarly, two clock pulse of this signal will generate one clock pulse. Yeah, but this signal is no, not completely written. Anyway, this one clock pulse. Okay. So thereby, what we understand from this now is that now observe the frequency, guys. This is F1. This frequency is F2, F3, F4, and F5. F1 is the highest frequency. Frequency F1 is more than F2, whose frequency is more than F3, F4, and F5. F5. Okay. So what is the logic here? Is that as the frequency decreases, time period increases. That's everybody knows it. That's not an issue. Okay. Time period increases. Okay. That means when we use the bottom line is when we use higher frequency clock pulses to generate a delay or to generate low frequency signal. Okay, see, low frequency signal is generated from high frequency signal always. Okay, low frequency signals are generated from high frequency signals. Okay, so to generate low frequency signal, what we have to do is we have to divide the high frequency signal. We have to divide the high frequency signal. Okay, for example, F1, two clock pulses of F1 will generate one clock pulse of F2. Two clock pulses of F2 will generate one clock pulse of F3. Two clock pulse of F3 will generate one clock pulse of F4. Two clock pulse of F4 will generate only one clock pulse of F5. That means very simple. The bottom line is low frequency signals are generated from the high frequency signal by counting n number of clock pulses. By counting n number of high frequency clock pulses. Okay. The same logic is used in 8051 based microcontrollers to generate baud rate. Okay. How it is done, let us understand. Okay. Our intention is to generate 9600 baud rate. Okay, it is a low frequency signal. It's a low speed of data. Okay, or low speed of operation, low speed of communication. The operating frequency of microcontroller is 11.0592 megahertz. Okay, that means we need to divide this frequency, so something like this, what we discussed just now, in the web page, we need to divide the high frequency signal by some value so that we can end up in a low frequency signal. And then similarly, we have to divide the high frequency signal in 8051, that is here, high frequency signal is 11.092 megahertz is the high frequency signal, operating frequency of microcontroller. This has to be divided by some value to generate a low frequency signal. This low frequency signal in turn is used to generate a baud rate. For example, time period of one machine cycle, okay, is generated using this we had understood, 921.6 kilohertz is the input for a timer. In a timer and counter, is a, of course, by now I think you guys know, what is the input frequency of a timer, guys? Oscillator frequency divided by 12, divided by 12, okay, is the input for the timer or counter hardware. This is 11.0592 megahertz divided by 12 will generate 921.6 kilohertz. So this will be the input frequency of timer. Okay, this is still a bigger frequency. I mean, even this is still a bigger frequency. This has to be further divided to generate low frequency signal. Okay, by what value? Okay, observe this. This frequency, that is 921.6 kilohertz, is further divided by 32 factor by the UART device. UART means universal asynchronous receiver transmitter device. Okay, it divides this frequency further by 32 to generate a frequency of 28.8 kilohertz, 28.8 kilohertz, or 28,800 hertz in terms of hertz. Okay, this is used as the frequency of the timer. Frequency means input frequency of the timer to generate the baud rate. Because why, the question here is obviously, why it is 32? It could have been 64 also, divided by 64 or divided by 128. Anything is possible. Okay, but for 8051 based microcontroller, as I just now said, it has a standard frequency of operation. That is, it can support only few set of baud rates. For this range of baud rates, divide by 32 is sufficient. When we have a larger set of baud rates to be supported by the 8051, then maybe UART has to divide it by 64 or even divide by 128 also possible. Okay, but for this rate of data communication, divide by 32 is sufficient. So UART of 805 microcontrollers divide the frequency, that is 921.6 kilohertz, by 32 to generate a frequency of 28,800 hertz. Okay, this is used as the input frequency for the timer when timer is used to generate a baud rate. Okay, yes, in 8051 microcontrollers, 8051 based microcontrollers, baud rates are generated using the timer, especially timer 1. To be more particular, it is generated by the timer 1. Let me write here. Okay, baud rate in 805 microcontrollers is generated by timer 1, not timer 0, always timer 1, in mode 2 operation. Always in mode 2 operation. This is always, is fixed. Okay, we don't change it. We can't change it. Okay, baud rate is always generated by timer 1 in mode operation. What is mode operation? 8-bit auto reload mode. That is, initial value has to be loaded to upper byte of the timer, which will be copied into the lower byte of the timer, and this lower byte of the timer starts counting the clock pulse. Okay, so thereby this frequency 28,800 hertz signal is applied to the timer 1 only, not timer 0, timer 1 only, to generate the baud rate. Okay, how it does. Okay, now let's say we need to generate 9,600 baud rate. Okay, that means we need to convert 28,800 hertz to 9,600 hertz. 9,600 hertz. Okay, so that means we have to divide the frequency. Okay, just like what we understood in our this this logic, to generate a low frequency signals, we have to divide the high frequency signal. We have to divide the high frequency signal by some value n, so that we end up in a low frequency signal. Okay. So we have a high frequency signal of 28,800. This has to be converted into 9,600. So divided by 3. Divided by 3. Very simple. Okay. Now thereby, where it is, okay. So thereby, 9,600 can be generated from 28,800 by dividing it by 3. Okay. That means, is what does it mean is, if you count based on this logic, this 3 corresponds to counting the clock pulses. This divide by 3 means similar to this operation, what we discussed in this web page. Okay. So let us say, for example, I need to generate this F3, this waveform. Okay. I need to count, let us say this is 28,800 frequency, for example, just for our understanding purpose. Okay. This F3 should be equal to 9,600. Okay. To generate 9,600, I need to count 3 clock pulses of the clock pulses whose frequency is 28,800. If I count 3 clock pulses of 28,800 frequency, I'll end up in, we can generate a 9,600 hertz frequency. Okay. So thereby, this divide by 3 is nothing but counting that many number of clock pulses, to generate the required frequency or required clock pulses with a particular frequency. Okay, so that's very simple. Okay, so divide the 28,800 by 3 to generate 9,600 frequency baud rate. 9,600 generally these values are called as a baud rate. Generally it is not called as a frequency. Nothing but a frequency is a signal changes per second. It's nothing but frequency, no doubt. It can also be called as a bits per second. How to generate 2,400? It is less than 9,600. Divide by 12. How to generate 1,200? Divide by 24. Okay, that means we have to go on dividing. Okay, that means what should be the initial value? What should be the initial value to the timer, upper bit of the timer, timer 1, in mode 2 operation, to generate this frequency. Okay, frequency is nothing but delay, guys. If you understand from this delay concept, in this waveform, we are generating larger delay. Dividing the frequency, nothing but, let us say this is f1 divided by n, it will give f3. This divide by n means counting n number of clock pulse. Counting n number of clock pulse will generate more delay. It will generate more delay. So it's nothing but a delay operation. That's why we are using the timer for this purpose. Yeah. Okay. So divide by 3, for example. Okay. So divide by 3 means what should be the initial value in the timer, such that it will count only 3 clock pulses. After counting the 3 clock pulses, the timer should overflow. Such that it generates a required frequency. Okay, very simple. In mode 2 operation, we have understood in the earlier case. We can directly load the number of clock pulses to be counted. See, this 3, 12, 24 is nothing but number of clock pulses to be counted. So this number of clock pulses to be counted can be entered directly in the instruction to generate the to convert into initial value to be loaded. Okay, it's what will be the instruction is, if you do it in the programming method, move th1 comma hash -3. This will convert into 2's complement of this value. Okay, 2's complement, 2's or 1's complement. 1's complement, sorry, not 2's complement, it is 1's complement. It is FDH. Okay, so 3 is, for example, 3 is in 8 bit, 03. 03 means 0000 0011. 1's complement 1111 1100. Is nothing but FDH. Is FD or sorry, it's not 1's complement, it is 2's complement, because for this we have to add 1. 1. It becomes 1111 1101. This is D, correct? This is FDH. So this means 2's complement. So this -3 will be converted to its 2's complement, which represents the negative value of -3. Okay, so it is FDH. Okay, it is FDH. Similarly, if it is a 12 number of clock pulses, -12. 24 number of clock pulses minus 24. These numbers are standard. We don't go for -4. Why? Because it's not a standard baud rate. This will not give a standard baud rate. Okay, so standard baud rate has to be these values. Okay, for example, it cannot work with 2500 hertz. No, this is not a a baud rate which is recognized by PC. Okay, if we generate this baud rate, PC will not recognize. It will not communicate with the 8051 based microcontrollers. Okay, very simple. So initial values are given like this: FDH, F4H, and E8H, and this value has to be loaded to timer 1 in, and timer 1 should be configured in only mode operation. Okay, because it's okay. The reason for that is, let us say FDH, for example. Okay, what happens is that the timer, this value is loaded to upper bit of the timer TH1, which will copy it into lower bit of the timer TL1. It starts with FDH. So on the occurrence of next clock pulse, what will happen is, so next clock pulse will have a frequency of 28,800 frequency. Okay, so next count becomes FEH. Okay, next clock pulse FDE Okay, next clock pulse, timer will overflow, it becomes 00. This overflow condition will generate it will set TF1 to 1. That means 3 clock pulses are counted. 3 clock pulses counted means 28,800 divided by 3, which gives 9,600 baud rate. 9,600 baud rate. Very simple. Okay. So since it is a motor operation, what will happen is, since since it is a motor operation, the advantage is that, why it is done in only motor operation. Why not in mode 1? This could have been done in mode 1 also. Easily we can do it in mode 1. Why? The microcontroller or UART device will control all this operation. UART device of a 805 microcontroller does this operation. Why it will select mode operation? Mode operation because on the application of next clock pulse, the count is reset back to FDH. Count will be reset back to FDH. Okay, so thereby continuously the UART device will generate clock pulses at a rate of 9,600. Okay, baud rate. We need not worry about loading initial value, nothing like that. Okay, so motor operation is very useful for this kind of baud rate generation. Okay, fine. So these are the okay. This by default. Okay, why 9,600 is the default baud rate in 8051 based microcontroller. So dividing 1 by 12 crystal frequency and by 32 is the default upon activation of 8051 microcontroller. Okay, so UART device by default it will divide by 32. Okay, so 1 by 12 by 32 will give 28,800, and it's this is the default value. Until and unless we change the initial value, default speed remains 9,600. That's all. Okay. Okay. This SBOF and SCON we'll discuss in the next class. SBOF, SCON, and we have to discuss one program also, serial communication program. Then we can discuss the interrupt due to serial communication. That's also very simple. If serial communication program is known, we can write the program in interrupt also. Very simple. That's more of a computation purpose we can discuss. So next we have to discuss SBOF and what is known as a SCON resistor. Okay. Does anybody wants to give any demo? If anybody is ready, we can have the demo.
Yes, sir.
Okay. ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾರ್ದು ಡೆಮೋ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅದು US ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಶೇರಿಂಗ್ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಶೇರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಓಕೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ those want to give demo you can share the screen you can you can paste your USN in the chat box. If there are more people, will take in that order. Very few teams are presenting. It will not be an issue. 60-60, okay. The first team to go is USN 60 and USN 61. So in the this you can share the screen. See USN 60 and 61. ಅವ್ರ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಈಗ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಹಂಗಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ 60-61 ಆಗದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಯಾವ ಆರ್ಡ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ 10-21ಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ 60-61 ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು USN ಟೀಮು
Sir, I'll present the screen. 61 will explain, sir.
ಆಯ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ
Sir, is it visible?
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಬಂತಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಓಕೆ ಎಸ್ ಪ್ರತೀಕ್ಷಾ ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷಪ್ಪ ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ ಯಾಕೆ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಹೂ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಅಂತ ಸೊ ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಐ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಚೆಕ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ USN 60-61 ಅಲ್ವಾ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ USN 66 problem statement. Okay, so write a program to set alternate bits of location 20, 22, 24. ಇದು ಮುಂಚೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ ನೀವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಅವತ್ತು 7ನೇ ತಾರೀಕೆ ನೀವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿ ತಾನೆ ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಕೊಡಪ್ಪ ಈಗ ತೋರಿಸಿ
in this case we require loop counter 5 since we are given like 5 locations 50 then we move 55H that is 010101 to the accumulator. Then we move the value in accumulator to the 20H location to indirect aggregation. Then further we increment R0 twice so that it goes to the next even location. Like after 20H it goes to 22H. Like similarly then to 24H till 28. Then we complement the value in accumulator so that it becomes 10101010. Then we repeat the above process like for 5 times since the loop counter is 5. Then we decrement the loop counter and repeat the loop until the loop counter becomes 0. Like once the loop counter becomes 0, we end the code.
ಹೌದಪ್ಪ ನಿನ್ನ ವಾಯ್ಸು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಓಕೆ ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್
ಸರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಾ ಸರ್
ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ ರನ್ ಮಾಡು ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ
ಸರ್
ಎಂದ್ರೆ 2022
ಸರ್ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ
ಆಯ್ತಾಯ್ತು
0 ಎರರ್ಸ್ 0 ವಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇವಾಗ ಡಿಬಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ 20 22 24 26 28ಗೆ 000 ಇದೆ ಸರ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ 55 ಬರುತ್ತೆ 20H ಅಲ್ಲಿ 55 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಅವಳು ಹೇಳಿದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ 01010 ಅದೇ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
ಹೌದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್
ಆಮೇಲೆ 22ಗೆ ಎ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 101010 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸೊ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್
ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಎ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ
ಹಾ ಎಸ್ ಸರ್
ಆ ಥರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದಾ ಈ ಲಾಜಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಇದು ಓಕೆನೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಡೇಟಾ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್
ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದು R7 ಏನದು 05H
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್ 05H ಅದು
05 ಏನಕ್ಕೆ
20 ಇಂದ 28 ತನಕ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೇಳಿರೋದಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಸೊ 05H ಲೂಪ್ ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಅದೇ 05 ಲೈಕ್ 5
ಆ ಥರ
ಟೈಮ್ಸ್.
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಓಕೆ
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್
20 ಅಲ್ಲ 2022 ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್
21 ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ
21 ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್
ಅದನ್ನ ಅದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಮೂವ್ ಎ ನಾಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಎ ಕರೆಕ್ಟು. ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಓ 2 ಸಲ ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ. ಓಕೆ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. ಅಲ್ಲ 2 ಸಲ ಇಂಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬದಲು
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್
ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಬಟ್ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಪುನಃ ಎ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್
ಅದ್ರ ಬದಲು ಎರಡು ಸಲ ಇಂಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೆಟರ್ ಆಗಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲದ್ರೆ ಆ್ಯಡ್ R0, 1 ಮಾಡಿ, ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಅಡಿಷನ್
ಅದು ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಇದೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್
ಬೇರೆ ಇನ್ನೇನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇನ್ನೇನಾದ್ರು ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ನೇನಾದ್ರು ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಮಾಡೋದು, 2 ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಜಂಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ನೇನು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಫೀಸಿಬಲ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇದೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಪ್ಟಿಮೈಸ್ಡ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ.
Okay,
ಯಾಕಂಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತದೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಟು ಬೆಟರ್ ಅದರ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸು. ಓಕೆ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್
ಸರಿ ಸರ್.
ಬೆಟರ್.
ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಾ ಸರ್?
ಕಳ್ಸಪ್ಪ, ಅದು ಲಿಂಕಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್
ಸರಿನಾ?
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಇಬ್ರು ಈ ಬಿ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ.
ಹಾಂ ಎಸ್ ಸರ್ ಇಬ್ರು ಬಿ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್.
ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಎ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆದರೆ ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಐ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಯು ಸೆಂಡ್ ಟು ಸತೀಶ್ ಸರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ
ಇಬ್ರು ಬಿ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸರ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಡನ್ ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾರಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ? ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟು ಇದು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಈಗ? ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ 69 ಯಾರಪ್ಪ? 69
6980.
ಓಕೆ ಫೈನ್. USN 69 and
80.
80.
Yes sir.
USN 69 ಅವತ್ತೇನೋ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೆಡ್. ಓಕೆ. So what is the problem? What was the statement? Let me check. Okay. Write a program to sort numbers in the memory range in ascending order if the number in 50H is 1 and descending order if the number in 50H is 2. Correct. Only one dena madidre ansutte. That you did only one, I think you did for one. I asked you to consider both the conditions.
Yes sir.
That's what I remember.
Here in ascending code we have taken 16 value in 30H to 40H location. Then we have taken 15 other value to another register, so that we can compare the value to other 15 values. So also we have used compare location to compare the value to other value and sort them. In compare location we have taken the first number in B register and second number in A register. After that we have jumped if not carry
Okay. Rishi, you
Yes,
need
sir.
not explain the program. Straight away run the program. Let us see. Because comparison we have discussed program. So you can straight away go to the program. No problem.
Okay sir.
Run the program. So according to the problem statement, you have to give data between 30H and 40H. So depending on the data in 50H, either 1, if it is 1, arrange in ascending order. If it is 2, arrange in descending order.
Okay sir. Sir, written.
So one is it has arranged in ascending order. Correct.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So try for descending order also.
Okay sir. So done.
Correct. Descending order. Now, Rishi, next point is at 50H, store it as 5.
Okay, sir.
The idea is, if value other than 1 or 2, nothing should happen. That's the basic idea.
Okay, sir. Sir, done.
Okay, you run the program. No change. Very good. Correct. This is what expected. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. Well done. So this is team 69 and 80. Very good. So 69 and 80. No. Okay. Done. Done. Very good. Next. Next. Next ಯಾರಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ 69 and 80 ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ 433 417 ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ.
Yes, sir.
ಮುಂಚೆ ನೀವು ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಏನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ
Yes, sir. In the previous session, we have explained the program, sir. We need to run the output.
ಹೌದಾ ಓ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ 433 and 417
17. Sir.
17
I will present now, sir.
ಆಯ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಓಕೆ write a program to add the contents of address location 30H to 35H with the MSB of 24H is 1 or add the content of what is to okay ಆಯ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಆ ಥರನೇ ಇದು ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ನಾವು 30 to 35 ಒಂದು ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು 40 to 45 another set of data. So depending on MSB of 24H.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Is the screen visible, sir?
Yes, done.
So in 24H, we will give any random value, sir. For example, MSB is equals to 1, we will give it 81, sir.
Right, correct.
And then 1. I have given the value, sir. And now I will run it, sir.
So result ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ result is in
1 minute, sir. 1 minute, sir.
15H ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ
We got the result in 15H as output, sir.
15 ಬಂತಾ ಸರಿ So this is for MSB 0.
MSB is equals to 1.
Oh, correct.
Yes,
MSB 1 ಗೆ correct.
For example, if you give 71, it will run for MSB is equals to 0, sir.
ಹೌದು correct.
We get the same as 15, sir.
Okay, the same data ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀಯಾ you given the same data at 40
Yes.
also.
I will change it, sir, now.
ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅದು ಆ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಒಂದು ನಂಬರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್
Yes, sir.
ಒಂದು ನಂಬರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಒಂದು ನಂಬರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್
We got it 26, sir, now.
26 ಅಂತಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ the purpose of this assignment we should look into all possibility. The program should not fail for any of the condition ಅಂತ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ
Yes, sir.
ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಅಪ್ಪ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
USN 433 ಮತ್ತೆ 417 ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಓಕೆ ಡನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಾಯ್ತು 433 417 ಆಯ್ತು 426 427
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್
ಇದೀರಪ್ಪ ನೀವು ಅವತ್ತೇನಾದ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರ ಅವತ್ತೇನಾರು
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇವತ್ತೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್
426 427 426 427 426, 427. Column statement ಏನಪ್ಪಾ 426, 427. Write a program to count how many numbers between 38 to 48 are equal to numbers between 48 and 45. So list the numbers which are equal. Okay.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಸೊ ಕೌಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
ಸರ್ ಅದು ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ನಂಬರು 20H ಇಂದ 2F ವರೆಗೂ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್.
ಆಯ್ತು. ಓಕೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್
ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡು.
ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಲೋಡ್ ದ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ 38 to 40 ಮತ್ತು 40 to 45. 40 to 45, 30 to 40. ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ, 30 to 40ಗಿಂತ 30 to 35 ಮಾಡು ಸಾಕಲ್ವಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ, ದ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಹಿಂಗೆ 30 to 40 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ 40 to 45. ಓಕೆ ನೋಡಿ.
ಸರ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್ ಈಗ.
ಆಯ್ತು. ಓಕೆ.
ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್ ಈಗ.
ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ. ಸೊ 2, 3, 4,
ಸ್ಟೋರ್
5,
ಆಗಿದೆ
6.
ಸರ್ ಈಗ 20H ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್.
20H ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂತಲ್ವಾ? ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಇರೋ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್.
ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸು 20H ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ.
ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಸರ್.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಾ, 20H ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಏನಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನೋಡಿ, ಈಗ 2 ಬಂತಲ್ವಾ, 2 ಮಾತ್ರ, ಒಂದು 2 ಮಾತ್ರ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಇರಬೇಕು 20H ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ದಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ಸ್ 2 as repeated or entry is available in 30H ಅಂತ. ಆ 2 ಅನ್ನೋದು ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಈಗ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಲೆಟ್ ಎ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಟು ಕೌಂಟ್ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ 30 to 40 are equal to numbers between 40 to 45. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ದ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್. ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ದ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಆ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಸಂಜಯ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನೇನಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2, 3 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಬ್ರು ಸಂಜೆನಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ. ಈಗ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಬರೀ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಆ ಥರ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ? ಆ ಥರ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಅಂದರೆ ಈಗಲ್ಲ ಟೇಕ್ ಯುವರ್ ಟೈಮ್, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ? 20H ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ 2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸರಿ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು, 2, 3 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸರಿ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ಆ ಥರ ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಅದನ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಂದ್ರೆ
ಸರ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್
ನಾವು ಹಂಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಹಂಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ನಾವು 2 ನ 2 ಸಲ 3 2 ಸಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ.
ಆಯ್ತು, ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಸಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನೋಡೋಣ, ನೋಡೋಣ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ನೋಡೋಣ.
ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಯ ನಂಬರು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ 30H ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ 1-2 ನಂಬರ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು. 17, 18, 19 ಆ ಥರ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅವೆರಡು ನಂಬರ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಈಗ 40H ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನಂಬರು? ನಾ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಕೊಡ್ತೀಯಾ ನಂಬರು? ನೋಡೋಣ ಅದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡೋಣ ಅಂತ.
30H ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್.
30H ಹಂಗೆ ಇರಲಿ. 30H ನೀವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟು, ಇರಲಿ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಈಗ 40H ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕೊಡು ಗೊತ್ತಾ? 6, 9, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಡಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? 35H ಅಂತಾನೆ ಕೊಡು. ಇದರ ಅದು ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸೆಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. 35H, 45H. 65 H ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಇದು 40 to 45 ಕೊಡಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ನಾವು 6 ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. 45 H ಮತ್ತು 65 H ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಮೂರೇ ನಂಬರು 69C. ಸಿ 0 ಆಗೈತಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಸಿ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ 40 H ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ, ಅದು ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಬೆಸ್ಟ್. ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಸರಿ, ಈ ರನ್ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಡಿಬಗ್ ರನ್ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ, ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ರನ್ ಆಗ್ಬಂದು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಇನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಆ ಡೇಟಾ ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟು, ಇನ್ನು ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಡೇಟಾ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 6 9 C ಕರೆಕ್ಟು, 6 9 C 35 45 55. ಸಿ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತ, ಏನೋ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಏನೋ ಮಿಸ್ ಹಿಡಿತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ಸಿ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ.
ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಸೀನಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಸಲ ಕೊಡಿದ್ವಿ ಸರ್ ಸೀನಾ.
ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಸಲ ಮಾಡ್ದಾ? ಆಯ್ತು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ ತೆಗಿ, ಅದು 0 ಮಾಡೋ. ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ 30 H ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಡಬಲ್ ಸಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, 1 C ನ 0 ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2 ಸಲ ಇದೆ ಇನ್ನುವೆ. ಬಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇದೆ ನೋಡೋ, ಬಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸಿ ಇದೆ ಪುನಃ.
ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು
2 ಸಲ ಬಂದಿದೆ, 3 ಸಲ ಬಂದಂಗೆ ಆಯ್ತು. 0 ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ, ಈ ರನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಾನು. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿದಮ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಬಂತಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಅಥವಾ ನೀಲ್ಲ ಈ 20 H ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿ ನ 0 ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ರನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ.
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ 20 H ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಸಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು 1 C ನ 0 ಮಾಡ್ದ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ
ಸರ್? ಕೇಳಿಸಿಲ್ಲ.
ಕೇಳಿಸಿಲ್ವಾ? ಸರಿ ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ, ಆಯ್ತು, ಬಂತಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. 6 9 C ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಬಂತು, ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ 0 ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್.
ಆಯ್ತು, ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. ವಾಶಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ ನಾನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸರಿಪ್ಪ, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಸರಿಪ್ಪ,
ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ ಸರ್?
ಮಾಡ್ರಪ್ಪ. ಇದು ಏನದು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ನ ಆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಡ್ರಪ್ಪ. ಸರಿನಾ?
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
426 427 ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾರಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ 97 ಇಲ್ಲ 92 75. ಆಯ್ತು. ನೀವು ಮುಂಚೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಅರ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ? ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ
ಸರ್, 1 second ಸರ್.
ಆಯ್ತು.
Yes sir. Sir, this is the program to find the second smallest number in between locations 20H and 30H.
ಆಯ್ತು, ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ. ತೋರ್ಸು ರೈಟ್.
ಸರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್?
ಬೇಡ ರನ್ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ ಸಾಕು. ಅವರನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಅಂದರೆ
ಎಸ್
ಹೊಸ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆದರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅನ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ. ಈಗೇನದು ಇಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಸೊ ನೀವುಗಳು ಮಾಡಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಸರ್ ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲೆಸ್ಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ 2 ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಮಾಲೆಸ್ಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1 ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಆಯಿತು,
ಇದರದ್ದು ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಸರ್.
ಆಯಿತು, ಓಕೆ, ಅದು ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲೆಸ್ಟು 0 2 ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ರೆಸಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ 0 2 ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ 0 2 ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲೆಸ್ಟು 0 2
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಒಂದು ಸರ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ. ಅಲ್ಲ ನೀನು ಇದು ಅಸೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಡಿಸೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಸರ್ ಇದು ಸಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಲೂಪ್ ರನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಸರ್.
ಹಂಗೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿದಮ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಅದು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಂಗೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, 1 ಬೈಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸರಿಪ, ಆಯಿತು, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಆಯಿತು.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಒಂದು 5 ನಿಮಿಷಪ್ಪ, ನೀವು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನಾನು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ತಗೋತೀನಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟೀಮ್ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟೀಮ್ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು? ಇನ್ನು ಈಗ ಯಾವ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಈಗ? 92 75 ಅಲ್ವಾ? 92 75 ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರಿದಾರಪ್ಪ? 92 ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 84 25 ಇದರಪ್ಪ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ? 84 ಮತ್ತೆ 25.
ಸರ್ ಸರ್.
ಹಾಂ, ಓಕೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ 25
ಸರ್ 25 ಸರ್ 25 ಎ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ದವನು 25
ಎ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಸರಿಯಪ್ಪ, ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ 25 ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇದು ಸತೀಶ್ ಸರ್ಗೆ ಸತೀಶ್ ಸರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಡೀತಿತ್ತಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ USN 25 ಸರ್, ಮುಗಿತಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸು? ಹಿಂಗೆ
ಸರ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್.
ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತಲ್ಪ ಮತ್ತೆ?
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆ.
ಅದೇನೋ ಸರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ನೀವು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ, ಇವನೇ ಪವನ್, ಇವನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಬಿಡು. ಆಯ್ತು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬೇಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಆಯ್ತು, ನೀವು ತೋರಿಸಪ್ಪ. ಯಾರು 84 ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಶಿವ.
ಇದು
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ.
ಸರ್ ಆವರೇಜ್ ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆವರೇಜ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ 40H to 50H ಸರ್.
ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ 84 25 ರೈಟ್ ಎ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಆವರೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ 40 and 50 if MSB of 24 is 1 and find only the sum if the upper nibble is 0. ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಅವತ್ತು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ ನೀವು? ಅಂದರೆ
ಸರ್
ಅವತ್ತು ನೀವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಇದೇನಾರು? ಇಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಮುಂಚೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ.
ಸರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ ಸರ್, ಆದರೆ ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಏನೋ ಮಿಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಸರ್.
7ನೇ ತಾರೀಕೆ ನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಮ್ಮದು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್?
ಸರ್.
ಸರಿಪ್ಪ, ತೋರ್ಸಪ್ಪ, ತೋರಿಸು.
ಸರ್ ಸರ್ ಇದು ಆವರೇಜ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸರ್. ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಇದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 40H ಇಂದ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ.
40 to 50 ಡೇಟಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟು
ಸರ್.
MSB ಆಫ್ 24 1 ಇದ್ರೆ ಆವರೇಜು.
ಸರ್.
ಅಪ್ಪರ್ 4 ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ 24H 0 ಇದ್ರೆ
0 ಇದ್ರೆ ಸಮ್ ಸರ್, 1 ಇದ್ರೆ ಆವರೇಜ್ ಫೈಂಡ್.
ಆಯ್ತು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ?
ಸಮ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್.
ಆಯ್ತು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ 24H 0 ಇದ್ರೂ ಆಯ್ತು, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ 4 ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಎನಿವೇ 0 ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವೆ
ಸರ್. ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್ 40Hಗೆ.
ಆಯ್ತು.
24H ಅಲ್ಲಿ 0 ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್.
0ನೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, 0 ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಆಯ್ತು
ಸರ್.
ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ?
ರಿಸಲ್ಟು 60H ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟ್ 78 ಸರ್.
78 ಬರುತ್ತಾ? ಆಯ್ತು, ಓಕೆ ಸರಿ. ಈಗ 1 ರನ್ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ.
F0
ಹ್ಮ್
Average sir 7 1, so average. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್ 68.
ಆವ್ರೇಜ್ 7 ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಅದು?
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ಆಯ್ತು ಸರಿ ಬಿಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸರಿಪ್ಪ ಡನ್ ಡನ್.
ಸರ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
ಆಯ್ತು. ESC ಏನಿದೆಪ್ಪ 84 ಮತ್ತು 25.
25 ಸರ್.
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನೋಡೋಣಪ್ಪ. ಶಲ್ ವಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಸಮಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಟುಮಾರೋ? ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಓಕೆ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದಾ? ನಿಮಗೂ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬೇರೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ನಿಮಗೂ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಬೇಕು. ನಿಮಗೂ
ಇನ್ನು 25 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್.
ನಿಮಗೆ 25 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ನನಗೆ 2 ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗಳಿದೆಯಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಆಯ್ತು, ಒಂದು ಟೀಮ್ ಹೋಗೋಣ, ಒಂದೇ ಟೀಮ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಈಗ ಯಾವ್ದು US ಆಯ್ತು ನನಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಡ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. 84-25 ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ? 84-25 ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರಿದಾರಪ್ಪ? 59-73. ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರದಪ್ಪ 59 ಮತ್ತೆ 73?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್.
ಮತ್ತೆ 73
ಶೇರ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
ಏನಪ್ಪ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇದು?
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಸರ್,
ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೈಟೆಕ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ between the location 30 to 58 which are greater than 28 but lesser than
ಸರ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಿದೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಶೇರ್
hello ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ. ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಡನ್.
ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ ಸರ್?
ಬೇಡ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಬೇಡ. ಇದು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಎ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಯಿತು, ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ರನ್ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ 30 to 50ಗೆ ಡೇಟಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟು
ಅದರೊಳಗೆ
ದ ನಂಬರ್ ಈಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದನ್ 28
ಬಟ್ ಲೆಸರ್ ದನ್ 28 ಹೆಚ್ಚಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್ ನಾವು.
ಓಕೆ ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು.
ಸರ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ನ. ಸರ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು 50H ವರೆಗೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾ ಸರ್? ಅದು
50H ವರೆಗೂ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ, ಬೇಡ. 40H ವರೆಗೂ ಸರ್, 40H ವರೆಗೂ 30 to 40H ಸರ್. ಯಾವ ಥರ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೂಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಒಳ್ಳೊಳ್ಳೆ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಿರಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ಈ ಮೆಥಡ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ.
ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸರಿ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿಯೋದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಈಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ನನಗೆ, ತುಂಬ ಈಸಿ. ಓಕೆ 20 to 28 ಇರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಅಬೌಟ್ 20 ಇದ್ದು ಬಿಲೋ 28 ಇದ್ರೆ ಆ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ 0 ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಅದು ನಾವು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮು.
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್. ಆಯ್ತು, ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ರನ್ ಮಾಡಲಾ?
ಬೇಡಪ್ಪ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ರನ್ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ ಸಾಕು.
ಸಿ ಸರ್, ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ 20H and 28H are 0. ಉಳ್ಕಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
22 ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಇದೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ನಂಬರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಅಂತ.
ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಆಯ್ತು ಅದು?
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್, ಹೌದು. 23 ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ ಸರ್ ನಾನು. 40H
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನೀನು ಆ 40H ಇದೆ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡು. ಅದೇ 40 ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಆ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್. ಅಪ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು 50H ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಅದನ್ನು 22 ಯಾಕೆ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ನೋಡೋಣ ಸರ್. ಅದು
ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋ ನೋಡ, ಅದು ಮಿಸ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಅಥವಾ ಏನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್.
50 H ಹೊಡೆದು ಕೊಡ್ಲಾ ಅಪ್
50 H ಬೇಡಪ್ಪ, 40 H ಸಾಕು. 40 H ಸಾಕು. ಒಂದೆರಡು ನಂಬರ್ ಮಿಸ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹಂಗಂತೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದ್ಯಾಕೋ ಅದೊಂದು ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅಥವಾ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ನು ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆನೇ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 21 ಇದೆ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಸರ್
ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್, ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್.
ಅವಾಗೇನೋ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಂಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಸರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಸರ್.
ಹೌದಪ್ಪ, ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾ ಸರ್?
ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ, ಲಿಂಕಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. So let's see, let's continue the next class, okay? Thank you. Thanks for joining. Take care. Bye.
Stop ಆಯ್ತಾನೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಶೇರ್.
ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆದೆ.